RATG, Ryan's All Things Geek, right here on 103.7 FM, Brock University Radio. Or you can be listening to us live online at cfbu.ca.
Black magic. You got to know, got to show, it's time to roll. So just tell me what you want to hear, tell me what you want, so just tell me what you want to hear.
Alright, so Ryan here, Ryan's All Things Geek. I'm here with Christian
Potenza.
Potenza, obviously we knew that. And Toby Proctor.
That's me.
And of course we've got our buddy Steve Lambert here with us as we do from week to week. And we are voice actors of Cartoon Network, Teletoon, everywhere. Toby, you're most famous for playing Max Tuxedo.
Tuxedo Mask. You know, I take the tuxedo to
See,
the max.
what did I tell you about the names?
It's awesome. I know. I've heard worse. Trust me. I did Sailor Moon many years ago, and I was Darien, Tuxedo Mask, the Moonlight Knight, and Prince Darien. He was all basically the same character, but he had a phone booth for quick changes, much like Superman, minus the phone booth. But it was fun, man. It's crazy. And then now, fast forward years later, here we are, right?
So now, just to stick with Sailor Moon for a bit.
Yeah.
Now, this is one of the most iconic shows of the 90s for anime. How did you get into that? Especially seeing an Eastern style form like anime making its way into our Western world. Was it one of those things where they had already had voice actors and you guys kind of overdid the voices?
It was originally done in Japan, and it was brought over. And at the time, I was doing the voice of Flash Gordon, and there's first round auditions for Sailor Moon. And I went into audition for it. I didn't even really know what I didn't even know that there was going to. Here, we'll just restart. It's okay. Take two.
We'll take two. That's all. So. Let's continue. So Sailor Moon, it was a huge iconic show back in the day.
And they basically asked me to audition. I didn't really even know what it was. In fact, I didn't see any of the imagery. I didn't know the name of the show, anything. They just had me listen to a guy because there was Rino Romano played the first 10 episodes of Tuxedo Mask, and then he got some work, I think, in the States and had to go away. So they had ultimately they needed a replacement. So I went in. All I heard was a soundbite of him. We sound nothing alike. But they said, don't worry, it's just more of the cadence. So get that going and check it out. So I did, walked away, and minutes later I get a call from my agent saying, hey, congratulations, you booked Sailor Moon. That does not happen a lot of the time. Really? But it's like, you booked Sailor Moon. I'm like, that's amazing. What's Sailor Moon? Like, that thing you just went for. I'm like, that's cool. I still don't know what, okay. And I went in the studio the next week. And there it was almost like professional karaoke, and you do it, and next thing you know, 20 years later here I stand talking to you about that. So now, that's the Cole's Notes. There's lots of stuff in between.
Now, what's the progression after that?
How so? What, for the show itself?
No, for yourself after that. You do Sailor Moon.
Oh yeah.
Because you said you were.
You know, I had to unfortunately leave the show. Fortunately and unfortunately, I got the role of Tackleberry on the Police Academy series.
Oh wow, nice.
There was the same from the same producers of the movies. They did 26 1-hour episodes in Vancouver. Unfortunately, it was in Vancouver and Sailor Moon was in Toronto. They couldn't make my schedules mix, so I had to leave the show third season. Oh, wow. Which sucked because Tuxedo Mask and Sailor Moon was like climbing the charts, and I was like, yes, this is amazing. And to leave a show that's already doing well is really tough.
And to go to a show that you're not sure.
Exactly. Yeah. Hey, look, I got to play Tackleberry. It was awesome too. Got to shoot some fake guns, so it was fun.
Nice,
it was fun.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Glad to hear.
Yeah.
Now, what about you, Christian? Now,
wait. Before there was a little hiccup there too, because when he left, he started this huge wave. That's Toby. Popeye the Sailor Moon.
Honestly, on my page, Ryan's All Things Geek, we just shared a picture like this, but it's an artist picture of it, and it's the most shared picture we've ever had.
Yeah.
You started that?
I'm just joking.
I believe it.
I just wanted
believe
to
it.
get dressed up like that because that's funny.
Yeah.
That is hilarious.
That's all kinds of wrong. That's all kinds of wrong.
I remember you too.
All kinds of wrong.
Impressioning.
Best interview
Yeah.
ever.
Well, I listen to your father because I listen to the old folks.
Hilarious.
So when I interviewed Richard Hatch from Battlestar Galactica, this happened.
Yeah.
We're in the middle of an interview, and a little girl's walking by out front. He's like, "Oh my God, I can't believe how long her hair is." In the middle of our interview, and our interview was 25 minutes long. 18 minutes of it, him talking to this little girl. Oh yeah.
Nice to see.
And he's like, "Oh, this is a great interview." I'm like, "Oh, thanks."
Dude, you get the
Don't
best
start
stuff.
going?
It's real.
Well, that's ask him how good this is, because he's the one who has to edit it later.
So now,
Sucker.
It's going up just like this.
Yes. You know him?
yeah, the one that I was grabbing your leg.
All right, and scene. No. All right, so Christian.
Yeah.
So you had a really long career as well. Yeah, what?
Still going
43.
on.
43.
Still going on.
You have a very long and burgeoning career going on. Wow.
This is like a roast. It's not an interview. It's like, you had a really good long career.
I said you've had. Oh yeah, I guess. So you're in the middle of a really great career right now.
Yeah.
And I know that currently we're your favorite radio station out there.
Wow.
Christian, this is the way it goes. I'm sorry. No.
This is awesome.
So no, honestly though.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
So you've been in the business for a long time.
Yeah, actually, this month is my 20th year as a professional actor.
Oh wow! Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
Now, what'd you start off on?
I did a couple of commercials, and then my first gig actually out of theater school was on Riverdale at CBC.
Oh wow!
Where I played Jimmy Snow, the cop who shot the kid in the leg and wrecked his hockey career.
Oh wow!
On a
No,
Canadian soap opera. That's
heavy.
That's where that went.
That's heavy.
Yeah. And then from there, I went to a few commercials, and then I was a commercial guy for a long time.
Yeah.
And I've been a yellow toothbrush. Well, you said the Molson X. That was going way back.
Yeah. Well, that's what. Yeah.
Way back.
I like my beer.
The Halls guy, the Let's Get Naked guy.
Yes, I do remember that. Let's Get Naked.
And the giant yellow toothbrush, the Listerine guy, and then after commercials dried up, I just fell into cartoons, and I've been rocking it steady on
Now, how's that
cartoons.
transition for you? Like, was it a hard transition to get
it
into?
just
Or?
happened. Everything just happened organically. I mean, every actor in their career has what I like to call seasons, and you just sort of transition from one to another without if you make a conscious decision going like, hey, I want to be a voice actor. I tell people now, like, because I teach voice acting to kids, and they're like, I want to be a voice actor, and I want an animation reel. And I was like, it doesn't work like that.
Right.
And first of all, you got to learn how to read a little bit. But the thing is, I go, if you set out to do voice acting, that's something you want to do, then keep it as a hobby and just keep going that way, because you never know how it's going to end up. But don't set out and go, like, I want to do it, and that's it.
Right.
Because all the paths that you take are all going to lead you to where you need to go. So, if you would have told me that I would have been the voice of like Jude or Trevor or in cartoons in general,
You wouldn't have bought it.
No.
We're not in this for the money either, so.
Yeah.
Although we do get paid.
You guys get paid?
No. We got free T-shirts. We got a shirt.
I got t-shirts.
We got
Who pays
T-shirts.
for these T-shirts? These are awesome, by the way.
Thank you.
These are awesome.
And the back is great too, as we advertise our radio show on there as well.
That's what it is.
That's awesome.
And this has been the cheapest promotions we've ever had, by the way. Thank you very much.
These are great.
The cheapest shirt I've ever had.
Your check is in the mail.
This is why we don't let them talk.
In time.
No, this is always a hard question for any actor in the business, but I'm gonna put it to both of you anyways. Do you guys have a favorite role? And I know every actor has a favorite role, but no actor ever wants to say what their favorite role is.
Favorite role? Do you mean like animation-wise, or
all together?
Oh, favorite? Okay, wow.
It's a tough one. I know.
Former voice actors from the RATG radio show.
No, you know what? I've got one. it was definitely Jude from 16 because it was just me talking, and I felt very connected to him because he talked to a lot of inanimate objects and.
You talked to a lot of inanimate
A lot
objects.
of inanimate girlfriends, stuff like and
We just went there. We just went there.
yeah, exactly. Respect.
They've made a connection. They've made a connection.
And then for the live action, it would have to be Doug from the tournament about the crazy hockey parents, because when I got the part, they didn't have. I auditioned for the lead, but they didn't really like me for the lead, so they took 2 or 3 other roles and made them into one, and made him the lead's best friend. So when I showed up to shoot in Montreal for 3 months, they didn't have any lines for me.
No.
Because there was, so I got to make it up, and I got to improv everything.
wow.
So I got my way into. I found a way to just improv, and then even on second season when we came back, they just said, and Doug enters, and they just knew that, and
You do it.
and it was such a gift, and to have Bruce McDonald be the director and just
Kids
do
in the
whatever
Hall.
I want, man. So live action was the tournament, and cartoon wise, I'd say Jude.
Yeah.
Well,
And I think a lot of people are that way too.
know what?
Jude seemed to be the character from the show, right?
all the chicks thought Jude was really cute and had a crush on him, and all the dudes thought he was really cool. And then when they meet you, they're like, "Dude, you're part of my childhood, man. I love you, dude."
But that's
I'm
got to be weird, though.
Awesome.
That's got to be. Do you find it like, and this goes for both of you, because the same with Tuxedo Mask, right? These are big characters that have been around for, especially millennials. You know, that's their childhood.
Well,
So-
you've got fans how old now?
Oh,
Ranging
man.
from what?
From 4 to 80. Honestly.
Wow.
Yeah. And my
Well,
oldest
because
is
those
22.
grandmothers used to watch it, you know,
Yeah.
as they're babysitting.
Right.
They got into it, but now those kids are now moms, and those moms are having kids, and it's this weird layer cake of fandom, and it's
It's true.
It's a
And it's
spread.
got to feel. Is there any pressure though, like knowing that so many kids look up, because there's a lot of fans that can't separate reality, and I'm sure it's the same even with animation. But do you feel any pressure at all,
I personally don't feel pressure because, like, for me, I'm a dad. I have 3 kids already, so I already have to kind of live up to something.
Right.
Now. At the time, I wasn't thinking of that at all. Now, I kind of try to treat every situation with as much. I don't know, just grace.
Yeah.
Just because, really, how lucky are we?
Yeah.
I can roll in. One of the craziest experiences of my life was going to Australia last year with the cast, and I've never been to Australia, and I also. I didn't know that Sailor Moon even played there. And when I got off the plane, they knew exactly who I was. It was like present day. And to go halfway around the globe and have people know who you are by name is really, humans should be ready for that.
Right.
Because I don't care how famous you are or whatever. That's
humbling.
Just, it's humbling.
We're really big in Morocco, so.
and Australia.
Yeah.
We've
Only
got.
on Sundays though.
We're pretty big in Australia.
We're actually we're Saturday afternoons here in Niagara, but we're a morning show in Australia.
We really are. 7 a.m. There's a guy that calls us every morning.
73 morning
We're
show
starting to think he
in
might be our
Australia.
stalker. We're starting to think he might be our stalker.
Well,
Sorry,
that's the
Daniel.
first place
Sorry,
I'll
Daniel.
I just want to bring up a point because when I meet kids and even adults now who had a kid, like I've been involved with Make-A-Wish Foundation a couple of times.
Nice.
I've had one kid pass away on me, but the fact that he got to meet me and I got to spend time with him, it's huge. And here's the thing, we've influenced a lot of kids because I noticed the same thing. It's like you were there for me. Your voice was there for me when I was going through one of the most effed up times of my life, and you were and especially in hospitals and stuff, on Sunday nights when we were on, and even the nurses and doctors would be like, at 7 o'clock when your show was on, it was empty. There's all the kids, and you brought them joy, and it's very humbling, and it's very like you said, I'm just grateful. But the best part about it is like these kids and you have a relationship from when they were a kid, and they stick with you for the rest of your life for anything and everything you do. And you go to their country, and they know everything about you.
Well, my version would have been like if I got to meet Mel Blanc, Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck, like that will never go away out of my. That's it. Like that was the guy for me. Like where I'm like, oh my gosh, that's crazy. And then suddenly I'm in that position in a weird way. To affecting people the same way, and that it took me a while to actually wrap my head around it because it is what it is, right? And
it's surreal.
And people say, but you're just the voice. I said, I know, but think of like the band Coldplay. Like people love Chris Martin. Well, he's the voice, right? And you think because he sings when you're sad and happy, and the same thing with animation. It's it's a way to envelop the medium.
Absolutely.
That's a great answer. And you know what? It's got to be, like we mentioned earlier, it's got to be a humbling feeling, but it's also got to be, like you're saying, such a fulfilling feeling because it's got to be like medicine almost for these kids. You're giving them joy when they're in the hospital.
I've had people faint in front of me. Like and they're like, "Can I get a hug?" And they're trembling and they're shaking because it's such a sense memory thing with them, and it's huge. It's powerful. Like the other day, like because Toby and I are we're going to be performing and hanging out at Taffy, the Toronto Animation Festival, and there's 3 of the original animators from the Hanna-Barbera studios there.
Awesome.
And I was on the phone with them because we have this whole like Oscars opening live thing, and Toby's playing, who is it again? Joseph Barbera. And when we've animated Joseph Barbera and Hannah as ghosts, and they come out of a lamp that one of the tuners or the original tuners rubbed the lamp, and we're doing a rehearsal on the phone. I'm patched into LA with these guys, and I recognize his voice from the cartoons when I was a kid, and he's like, "You take it away, Christian," and he's saying, and I'm like in my kitchen, my hair is standing up, and I was like, there's nobody there to see it, and I was amazing. Like, this is the best fucking best voice job.
On our show. It's cool.
The best motherfucking voice job ever.
Boom.
And that's my daughter behind us right now.
Well, she's like my daughter and hears everything then.
Yeah, exactly. But it's weird being the voice and having him. He has no idea, Mr. Goldberg, that I was freaking out too. But it's funny what happens when you said if you were to hear Mel Blanc.
Yeah.
I heard his voice, and I'm like, I could. And we're actually doing their voices with them there, doing one of their pilot cartoons that they did.
Really?
And they voiced themselves. And we're doing it live.
That's pressure.
Oh, dude.
Like,
in front of our heroes.
It's like dubbing live, but with no time code, no beep, no nothing. So it's like it's the Wild West.
It's kind of like doing an interview with RATG.
That's right.
I'm just saying. I'm not saying. I'm just saying.
My hair is standing up.
And if I could just put it out there, my all-time favorite voice actor, aside from used to, of course.
Yeah.
I'd either go Frank Welker or Wilfredo. I think Wilfredo's one of the best.
Really?
Right on the planet.
Who's your favorite?
Mel.
Oh yeah, because it does.
It's just that was just my time. That was what, like, if I hear his voice, I think of Saturday mornings immediately.
Yes. And he voiced everybty on the show, basically.
Yeah.
He's Porky Pig,
and
Bugs.
also that commemorative or the memoriam or memorial cell. Have you ever seen that animation cell when Mel passed away? It's crazy. It's just a mic stand with a spotlight on a mic, and all of the characters that he voiced with their heads bowed and their eyes closed. I get chills, man. Like really, like crazy. Because really that guy was, and he apparently, well, yeah, but he also did like all the background stuff, like all the
Which you guys don't do that anymore, right? Now everyone's got a soundboard.
Not so much. I mean, some people do. There are some roles where they'll keep you back. They'll do principal dialogue and then say, now we just need some sound library stuff.
They'll do you'll do like an hour of laughter.
Yeah. Is it true what they say? The absolute worst job for a voice actor is video games.
Yes, it is. Well, a voice. No, it is the best worst. It's the best money.
For money,
Lots. It's huge. Yeah. But on the voice, it's really tough because it's real. It is real, and if you're screaming for real, like say someone's unfortunately stabbing you, you're not going to be quiet about it. You're gonna, and they'll have to take many takes. Like I just did a audition for a Ubisoft thing, and they had to get some sound library stuff of me screaming, and like at the end I was toast. Like, and I don't usually gas out that quick.
So, because what I've heard is the actors, you have to do like the things that people don't think of. Like we need you to go now we need you to go or
In a conversation, like on Sidekick, it's this kids cartoon, right? So they play these high. It's like Hogwarts of superheroes, right?
You mean these ones?
These guys. So most of the episodes are reactions. So we're in the booth for like 2 hours, and it's literally like, and then by the end of it, exactly, you're like, I am done.
Yeah.
And your voice is like this. You're like, good. I see it.
So vacation is a big thing for voice guys.
Yeah. But it's still great. I mean, come on.
Okay, so now what do we got coming up next?
Well, the Taffy thing.
The Taffy thing.
Toronto Animation Arts Festival International. That's next weekend. Myself, I'm actually going to Texas for South Texas Comic Con in McAllen, Texas.
Awesome.
Yep. And then Anime North's coming up.
Yes.
So that's a big and fun one, and lots more to go.
Awesome. We're looking forward to that one.
Yeah.
And I got I'm working on my my very own animation. It's
Nice.
we've reinvented the wheel as far as how animation's done. I took a year off. I stopped doing conventions. I stopped just working. I needed to cleanse the palate, and I just I needed time, because like the more you're working, the less time you have to actually work on your own stuff.
Right.
So I took a year off and reformatted it, and came up with my own cartoon called Stationed, about this fallen from grace DJ guy, kind of like Dean Blundell, that gets.
He's a huge Blundell fan.
Me too. He's a buddy of mine, right? And I love it. But it's like, so he's a fallen from grace morning shock jock who gets hired by this old time radio guy to work at this multicultural radio station to boost the ratings and stuff. And so they go in there, and the rainbow that is the multicultural community radio station. You know what it is? It's WKRP meets Little Mosque on the Prairie.
See, and I was thinking Bizarre right away. I was thinking it sounds like the family. What was that family called?
John Biner.
John Biner.
Biner.
Yeah. They had the racist family. They were all the different races.
But see, here's the deal. We're not coming in. Traditionally, when you do a cartoon, you come in one at a time, and you record it, and you got to pretend you have the conversation. We are actually going to be recording live as if it's a film set. So
Nice.
we're going to be like location. If they're in a cafeteria, they're in a cafeteria. If we're in a bar, we're in a bar. If we're in a park, so we record it outside, and it's real conversations, the overlapping, kind of like home movies and Dr. Katz.
Yeah.
And we're using a lot of comedians of different multicultural backgrounds, and it's like,
Awesome.
dude, it's awesome. Yeah.
So we'll see Russell Peters.
No, actually, we're not using anybody. We're just using like sort of unknown comics.
Nice, yeah.
with
Local-
a few headliners.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
So how long away were we for that?
Actually, we'll be starting to roll some stuff out on the YouTube channel. Toby and I are revamping my the Animation Nation Army YouTube channel, plus our own little the Animation Nation podcast.
Oh, wow.
It'll be starting to come out whenever we do a convention or wherever we're at, and we'll be discussing that, because we're going to start filming and shooting it in, I think, over the summer when the kids get out of school.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we got some stuff in the hopper, but we're waiting for the kids to get out of school so they can engage the YouTube channel better.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Got anything for him? That's why I like him. That's why we like him.
Dude.
That's why we love him.
His arms are about to fall off. So.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Christian, so much for coming on the show. It was a pleasure.
Cheers. Thanks
Toby,
so much.
awesome. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks, man.
Don't forget to check him out.
Good job.
Yeah, again.
Doctor.
Mister.